All right, well, thanks for coming back, or if you're just joining us for the third installment here of our ride in Central Florida. The last episode left off with me trying to negotiate a really narrow single track loop through the woods here, and it's kind of a figure eight almost, and I did the first half at the end of the last episode, and here we are heading out for the second half of that loop, and then we'll continue our ride on through the forest. Yep, familiar scene here. Once again, buried my front wheel, trying to make that rut and drop the bike. So they're not big get-offs, and it's really not a big deal. It's just a little frustrating, and it really zaps your energy out there. It's such a hot day to be picking that bike up as often as I'm doing it right here. So yeah, just trying to get better. Again. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I know. I should have folded that mirror. I don't know why I kept it up that whole ride. I guess maybe used to having it there on the road. And riding with a group of guys, and you don't have that in-helmet communication. I guess I was thinking maybe I could keep an eye on people that were behind me, even though I was behind most of the time. But you never look in it anyway. I was so focused forward, and big trees. Bouncing all over the place, and you're not looking in that mirror. I should have just folded it in, but you know, not the end of the world.
Here that I didn't even know about.
Oh, okay. I'm sure there's a million miles in here.
Probably.
What do you think of that one?
That was pretty good. I laid it down twice in there just in turn. So the one where you were talking about the big dip.
Yeah.
It came in the big dip and came out unweighted the front wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stay in that rut, so the front wheel went over the top of the berm and just laid it down. But
it's hard to like explain, but like standing up is better.
Oh, for sure, it is.
But when you get in those tight ones like that one, I sit down to make sure I'm in the rut.
In the rut, yeah.
Right. But standing up on, I stood up on 75.
Oh, really? Yeah.
50% of that.
Yeah.
Because, like, granted, some turns you can do better sitting down, but just like overall, like bike maneuverability,
right,
standing up is,
yeah. You can feel it in the wider stuff too when you're standing. You can definitely like turn, like lean it more in the sand without it getting so swappy than when you're sitting down. But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
The only time I try and sit down is, like I said, those tight,
tight turns,
right,
yeah.
That's the only. And I talked to my dad. He's like, He's like, yeah, but I'm standing up the whole time. Like, I don't think the whole time. Like,
yeah.
I can't stand up. I'm not that good where I can like
Right around 180. Well, I did 40 miles on the road yesterday, and I was at 160, like in between 165 and 168 for like probably an hour and 45 of that. Not hour and 45, hour and 15 of that. Like, it was a 2.5 hour ride, so an hour and 15 of that I was in that like upper zone 5. But I don't like, when I'm there, I don't really feel like I'm even breathing. Like, I'm breathing harder than normal, but I'm not panting or out of breath.
There's a, I don't know, a sweet spot.
Yeah.
You got to get in, and it's gonna be between 150 and 180, but it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
If you can go at 180, you're a fucking beast, and you're probably fast.
Yeah.
Without you're gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah. And you see all those guys in the like AMA, the motocross guys, like they're riding those 30-minute motos at like 190.
Oh yeah, those
from the gate drop to the checkered flag.
They're going 100% the whole time.
It's crazy.
Like, I'm a big Ken Rocks. And
yeah, I love Kenny. He's my guy too.
Like the training shit he does, I follow him on like social media, whatever.
Everybody rags on that dude for fucking up the Supercross, but I'm like, the injuries that dude had, man.
Yeah.
Anybody,
no other person race again.
Yeah.
No other person in that field could have done what he did.
No.
Man.
And he's still top. He's
still fucking badass.
He's top 2 in Supercross and motocross.
I know that.
Yeah. You can't
I totally agree with that, man. And people are like, "Oh, he fucking choked," or "Oh, he can't last the whole race." You're like, but dude, he's still beating Tomac and Webb and all those guys outside. Like, he only can't beat Ferrandis, but nobody else can either.
I think he's the most skilled dirt bike rider.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that accident happened. Can you imagine if that accident didn't happen, man?
Yeah.
Or neither one of those accidents happened.
What
he'd be like? He would be phenomenal.
Well, that year when he came out, though, he was like, I want everybody to fear me. He's like, I want to crush everybody so fucking bad.
And he's such a nice dude, too.
Yeah.
And so he was riding so over his head during that season, because he won every moto up until that crash.
Right. There's a lot of FTR guys out here. I can't see you wearing a chest protector, man. Like, I can't breathe as is.
Yeah. And I ate plenty of roost out here today. There's nothing you need a chest protector for.
The only thing is if you get rocks.
Yeah,
rocks will fuck you up.
Yeah. I just don't think there's any out here.
Yeah.
I got blasted pretty good by both of you guys at different points.
Yeah, I try to hang back, not get blasted, but happens. All right.
It does happen. Let's see if we can find this other stuff, man.
Following you.
We'll kind of just wander around a little bit. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, just so I can find this stuff and make sure we don't hit anybody else coming, because it seems like it's a little crowded out here.
It's busy today.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I saw a little edit there. That kind of just did that in the interest of time. And also, my GoPro battery died, but we didn't really miss too much in there. This is kind of the last leg of our ride, and this was my absolute most fun part of the day. I was feeling most comfortable. Our speeds were good. Just had a whole lot of fun out here riding with these guys, and this was kind of the culmination of my day, getting comfortable on this bike and just having a great time. So just a little momentary lapse of focus there. You saw Mark go by me as I kind of lost it in the sand ruts and started to drift. And then he went by and I just kind of couldn't get back in that rut, and I was kind of fighting it there a little bit. Tightened up a little bit in that section. It didn't take long to get the flow back. But it's just kind of that thing that happens towards the end of the day when you start getting a little tired and you lose a little focus. But I was still having an absolute blast. And I did it again. We blow a corner, Mark goes by. Are we picking up on the pattern here? We've seen a couple of misturns that get me back behind Sam. Mark's behind me. Eventually I'm going to blow a turn. That kind of became a running joke throughout the day. But again, that's me riding on the edge. And you make mistakes here and there. Luckily I didn't go down. It didn't cause me any harm. So it's something to learn from. bike, so we could get over there if we want. With you? Yeah, I don't know if he had planned to pop out right there. It seemed like we were just ripping trail, and then all of a sudden we popped out on the road. So, gonna watch out for traffic here. Get in the proper lane of traffic. But yeah, so this ended up being the end of our ride. We're right here where we parked our trucks, and man, we just had a great day. He didn't go there? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Oh man, what a ride. That was just awesome. Husky gang. All right, folks. Well, that was an awesome morning riding with a couple of guys that I just met on Facebook through dual sport riding groups, local Facebook groups. So that's the power of social media. I think it's awesome for all of its faults, obviously. I don't love everything about social media, but that is one of the cool aspects of it, to link up with like-minded folks and enjoy shared passions. So riding dirt bikes is certainly a passion, and man, what a day. I've heard mixed reviews of this area, and these guys knew the trails. They knew which trails to ride, and we had a great time. They were clearly faster than me, but definitely awesome guys to ride with and learn from. Can definitely tell that my level's getting better. That's exactly why I'm out here. And I think that's why a lot of us do this, is kind of figure out where our limits are and push them and get better. So get out there and ride, man. This was a straight up and down good time, and we're gonna be doing it again soon. And I think I made a couple of buddies. So Sam and Mark, thank you for the ride, and I hope we do it again real soon, because that was a lot of fun. So keep riding.